Hello and welcome to another TCAP recap. Tonight we are doing another request, this one from Spherical Harmonics on the Hanson v Preto subreddit. Thanks again for that request. I appreciate getting requests and I really like them because it takes the pressure off me of having to choose the next Preto. It's like when you end a TV show or finish a book and you just have so many interesting ones that you want to watch that you get paralyzed a little bit. I can't start one because maybe I should start this other one. That's how it is with these Pretos. And unfortunately, I have a job that just interferes in what I would like to be doing, which is focusing on these gentlemen. Not a good word. Gentlemen said ironically. Anyway, as you can see, it is Mr. Jerry Wayne Martin-Kosis. And he is the Preto tonight, courtesy of Spherical Harmonics once again. Thank you. And I wanted to start a little bit differently and pull up the chat log first because it's important to my main argument for this cut. And just to start with, this picture is pretty funny. He's known as the creepy Preto, the alien Preto, the Skinwalker Preto, the slow Preto, and I do think that he has veneers, so I think I might call him the Veneer Preto. And they're so straight and white and just kind of not natural looking that I feel like that's what alters your perception of his face. It's just kind of like, ugh. It's almost like the uncanny valley where he looks like he's something that's trying to be human but is screwed up on the teeth, and so it just changes everything. Like, I was gonna cover his if I could cover his face and so you could just see his eyes, maybe that would help. And when I had that thought, I reached for the screen with my hand to cover it. And then I realized that wouldn't transfer onto my screen. Oh, shit. I'm trying to level up my tolerance on the dabs, so some growing pains here of me being a fucking bozo. So, to start off, I do think that he is on the spectrum for autism. He is pretty reasonable in his chat. He sounds not, necessarily smooth. He does sound almost smooth, actually. And it's all follows, like it's not weird, or it's not like a bunch of misspellings and stuff. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but a couple things that stood out to me. Well, basically my argument is that while he may be on the spectrum, he's fully aware of what's going on. He's not slow in any way. So the reason he acted as he did is because he was just suddenly confronted with an extremely, extremely unexpected situation. I used to work in a mental health care facility for adolescents. I work in the mental health field, but we dealt with a lot of autistic, like, teenagers and kids, and routines very important to them, and anything that was out of the routine, depending on where they were on the spectrum, could upset them a lot. So this is, he's maybe going to underage girls' houses is a routine, and that's why he feels comfortable doing it, or maybe he's just fantasized about it for so long. But I think that's why he was so taken aback and just unable to communicate with Chris. And that's struggling with communication common. That's the reason why he came across that way. But his chat, he knows what's going on. It definitely helps because it's chat. Chat is chat, as Jeff Sokol would say. And so you have the chance to, think about your response, and you got that time. You can take your time. And we see that's also what he does when he's talking to Chris. He takes his time. And that's just a mannerism that some people may have. They just talk slower. That's never been my problem. I've always talked too fast. But some people just slower cadence, slower style. Older people, I think, tend to do it more in my experience. But yeah, it's not unusual for somebody to be much smoother in chat than they are in real life. But where's the line? I went too far down. He ask her what she's doing. The decoy says lots of bots, so lots of bots chatting tonight. And Kosis says, oh, well, pour water on them and watch them rust. Hee hee. I mean, come on, that's not the worst joke and delivery. It's kind of out there. It's kind of like quirky, so it could appeal to a certain type of person. But then he focuses right back in on his entrance. He brings up all the sexual stuff springs from this. Her going out. You didn't go out tonight. You want to go out. My name is Jerry. I'm 30. And the one I wanted to point out is that he says that she asks him, what do you like to do for fun? He says swim, hike, play pool, go out, travel, relax. And he says, what about you? And the decoy just, it hurts. She says, I like Barbies and Britney Spears, drawing and chatting. And just her liking Barbies and just saying it just reinforces how young this girl is. And I'm sure that's why the decoy did it. But it's just disgusting to see him continue on with what he says. Oof. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. Got that dry mouth. Back to Kosis. She says she likes Barbies, and the next thing he says after, oh, that's cool, is, I hope your folks don't mind you chatting with me. Which is a deep statement. Number one, it's out of the blue. Number two, how would her parents know that she's chatting with you, a 30-year-old man? They wouldn't. This is just all happening right now. So he's not saying it in a way that's, trying to be helpful. Like, oh, I don't want you to get in trouble. I hope your folks don't mind chatting with me. It's trying to get something across. Like, I hope your folks don't mind chatting with me. Why should they? And he says, just asking. And Barbie girl went to the school of Sokol because she says it's just chatting. Or as Raimundo Anguiano would say, you just get in there and you just chat away. I butchered the beginning of that quote, but you just chat away. Damn it! I'm gonna have to practice that impression because that's a great quote. I'm gonna have to do him soon. But that's his way to, again, get into these further conversations about her chatting with him and why it might be inappropriate, so she should keep it to herself. And he exploits these relatively innocent sounding statements to get inside her guard. And he just goes, it's a long chat, so I can't go through all of it, but let's just say he wants to get pissed on. He has a bit of a, what do they call it? Waterworks or wet works? Damn damn it, water sports. He has a bit of a water sports thing, it would seem. How do I do control P? Oh wait, okay, I might put this at the... Okay, so that's just about peeing. Pee on myself. Oh boy. You want me to go pee? No. Oh, you want to? Oh geez, he's... Yeah, I'm not gonna keep going down that avenue. Let's go to the video footage and start tearing this guy apart. all right, let's go. He does have a notable entrance for TCAP. Oh, shout out to Joey's TCAP channel for posting the video. Yes, I remembered at least a little bit earlier than last time. He's swinging his arms, just as happy as a clam, looking up at the sun. It's almost like an entrance. He takes his shoes off.
You got a workout today.
Got a workout today.
Say what?
Had a nice little walk today.
You did? Where did you have to walk from?
Oh, way.
Wait. Why don't you come on over here and have a seat on there?
There's a classic line. Where'd you come from? Way. He is absolutely boggled at the appearance of Chris Hansen dressed in this nice suit jacket. No tie, just, business casual, just relaxed for a day of grilling. But Martin-Kosis, he, again, like a lot of the Predators I've been covering, he doesn't come in like sneaking around, looking through the door first. He's not nervous even as he comes in, he comes in, waving his arms side to side, just sticks his head in, asks if anybody's home, comes in, just immediately starts chatting. So he okay, that's where I went. Yeah, he didn't seem to realize that this was a possibility. He didn't know this was on the menu for tonight. He was coming over here to get peed on by a 13-year-old girl, and that's all that was on his mind. Hyper focus, obsession on it, maybe. Let's go.
Walk today.
You did? Where did you have to walk from?
Oh, way.
Wait. Why don't you come on over here and have a seat on the stool for me, please?
Sure.
Where did you walk from today?
Hey, sorry about that, everyone. I got my wires all mixed up and had to fix my microphone, so I apologize. But we're back to Martin-Kosis. Let's just jump right in.
Sure.
Where did you walk from today?
Oh, from,
Please sit down.
Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah.
How far was the walk?
I don't remember. It was pretty far, though.
Yeah. What would...
Chris is taking a really gentle approach with Jerry. Being really polite. Please take a seat. Just asking him these nice, easy questions. He knows that Jerry's probably just gonna spill the beans or not be able to come back with much defiance. He recognizes, he's good at recognizing people and sizing them up. You have to be good at that to be a good reporter. So Chris sizes him up and knows the right approach to take. Props to you, Chris. Props to you.
Make you walk so far on a Sunday morning?
I am outside to say hi and meet a friend.
You can hear him sort of lisping, so I definitely think those are Veneers. He'll be the Veneer Predator, as I say. Maybe it'll catch on. Who knows? What a thing to be famous for. I invented the widespread use of the Veneer Predator for Kosis. Put that on my resume. See what people say. That'll open some doors. Probably not. Probably should keep this to myself. But you can see the signature looking off into the distance. Part of it is because Chris sits in this weird angle for him. You can see that he's facing this way. Chris is facing perpendicular. So he, in order to answer and look at Chris at the same time, needs to turn his head. And when he's thinking about his answer, he looks straight ahead, the more comfortable position, to best facilitate the thought process for communicating with Chris. Again, I think inside his head, he's racing through stuff to say. It's just the communication that's going to be difficult.
Pretty far though.
Yeah. What would make you walk so far on a Sunday morning?
I am outside to say hi and meet a friend.
Hi, and meet a friend.
Yeah, but I probably got the wrong address.
The wrong address?
Most likely.
Most likely. And
There's the first excuse, so he's, concocting some defense here. He's giving him this weird, half... It's like he's trying to convince himself, and he's kind of smiling and then frowning because he doesn't think it's going to work, and then smiling to convince Chris. But Chris, yeah, we'll just let it play out, let it roll, and see what else he can bring to his own defense here. I'm saying defense a lot. I need to slow down.
Yeah, but I probably got the wrong address.
the wrong address?
Most likely.
Most likely. And why do you say that?
No, because I wrote down 77.
77.
Yeah, 17.
So what makes you think you got the wrong address here?
Well, I'm just guessing.
You're just guessing. And who was your friend who you were coming to see?
I believe it would be Chloe.
Chloe. Right. Well, you've got the right address for Chloe.
I do.
Ooh. And Chris shuts him down. And he can just come up, I do. I was trying to rush through the chat to see if he got the right address, and Chris obviously is way ahead of me here. Chris is in full and total control of this kitchen and this situation. He is, he knew what he was doing when he set that chair there at that angle. He's a wily fox, Chris Hansen. Let's go.
Yeah. And how old is he?
Oh!
Uh,
I want to see that look of defeat one more time when Chris shuts him down and says, nope, can't use that one, buddy.
I do.
Yeah. And how old is Chloe?
He just looks...
Okay, I believe about 18.
Man, his eyes are darting around like he's searching for an answer, and he's thinking, should I tell the truth? Should I say 13, which is the truth? Should I say 15, 18, 20, 30? No. 18. And then he goes for it. And then he looks at Chris like he's looking at him for approval. I should have done more of a better intro, but he gets busted in the Riverside sting, and he's 30 years old. He's already said that he's from Riverside, so I'm way behind the ball on the details for the video. I apologize. Hopefully that doesn't throw anybody off. Let's jump back in. Let's just go back so you can see that little search for an answer.
18?
18? Well, that would make it better for your story if she was 18, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because she'd be an adult then.
Yeah, I know.
And there wouldn't be a problem with you visiting her.
Yeah.
He's nodding along like, yeah, exactly. That's why I said it. You're right, man. Thank you. I don't know what it is. He's a funny one. He's got these pointed ears too. But just the way he goes along with Chris, just agreeing to the evidence against him. Something about it, just the guileless way he seems to say it. It's funny, and it's also, fascinating to see how people react in these situations. It's like I went on and on about in Richard Brialt. These are life-changing moments for these guys. He got 240 days in jail, 3 years probation, and is on the RSO. So, that's probably where he belongs since he was out doing this. It's definitely where he belongs. What am I saying? But, he needed 240 days. It's not even a year. I think a little bit more of a slap on the wrist would have been appropriate, but I'm sure, that was hashed out at court, whatever. At least he got jail. But, yeah, seeing him just innocently agree with Chris to the evidence that will one day send him to jail, it's very interesting. So, nice job, Spherical Harmonics. Thank you for this interesting Predo.
18?
18? Well, that would make it better for your story if she was 18, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because she'd be an adult then.
Yeah, I know.
And there wouldn't be a problem with you visiting her.
Yeah.
But that's not what she told you on the internet, is it?
I believe not.
I believe not. So, he's not lying. He's agreeing. Just a funny way to say it in a weird phrase. I believe not. Just imagine answering that way to people in your everyday life. Hey, Smith, did you get that account report in? I believe not. What do you mean, man? That would just confuse people and probably piss them off. Let's see how Chris takes it.
Yeah.
But that's not what she told you on the internet, is it?
I believe not.
You believe not. I think you know.
Yes.
And what age did she say?
I believe 13.
13.
It's like he's hedging his answers without actually hedging them. You can say, I think, or I remember her saying she was 18. And it's hard to disprove that in the moment. But he's agreeing with Chris. He's saying, I believe, yes, she said she was 13. So he's giving the answer that screws him over, but he's giving it in a confusing way to no avail. Like, what's the purpose? Maybe it's just easier for him to say it that way. It separates him from it a little bit.
And how old are you?
30.
30. And your name is?
Jerry.
Jerry, what's your last name?
Kosis.
And why did you come here, Jerry?
He looks away like, damn it, I gave my real name. Shit. Tell me he doesn't, that's not like an oh shit, why did I fucking do that look.
Kosis.
And why did you come?
That's fuck. I just fucked up. So, again, I don't think he's a slow predator. Nope.
Come here, Jerry, to see a 13-year-old girl.
Outside of maybe starting a friendship, nothing else serious.
Starting a friendship.
He's just got the weirdest way of saying things. Outside of starting a friendship, nothing else. Again, it answers the question. He's lying. This is another excuse. Excuse number 2. He's just looking for friendship. But all the other predos say, oh, just looking for friendship. He says, anything outside of friendship, I'm not looking for that. I'm liking this predo more and more. He's rising rapidly on my ranking.
Yeah.
And do you see an issue with a 30-year-old man starting a friendship with a 13-year-old girl?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I see that.
You see why that might be a problem?
Yes.
And do you have children yourself?
None.
None.
Okay, that lip bite from Chris as he just stares at him. I think Chris is also trying to figure out, like, what's this dude's deal? What's going on here? Because he, like I said, is good at reading people, so he's probably recognizing and receiving these mixed signals and is trying to just get to the bottom of things. However, unless he himself comments on it, we'll never know. Would he remember if he saw this video and we asked him? Who knows? Maybe he had spent the night out prior just blasting coke and banging prostitutes. I don't know. That sounds like something a rock star would do, and he's a rock star of journalists. Okay, I want to see that one more time. That's a great look from Chris Hansen. That's the kind of look that I could get framed and put on the wall.
And do you have children yourself?
None.
None.
That right there, just, I don't know about it. And underneath I would get the words like, always question. Question everything, this face. That would be great. I need to get a high definition video so I can cut that out and put it on in a frame. But also, remarking on Jerry not having children, it makes sense if you just met the guy like we have to assume that he has no kids. But I wonder why that sparked that look in Chris's face, why it sparked the thoughts he had.
What made you feel so comfortable coming into a home where there was apparently a 13-year-old girl home alone?
He did come in super comfortable. He just, waltzed right in, even took his shoes off outside. No aware predo would do that because they might need to run at a moment's notice, and you can't imagine guys like JPW or Jerry Griffith. They're not going to take their shoes off. They're going to keep them on so they can dip out at a moment's, just like that. Okay, back to Jerry.
Well, outside, maybe wanting to be, I guess a mentor or something like that.
A mentor?
That was not an answer to why he felt so comfortable. Did I miss something?
Girl home alone.
Well, outside, maybe wanting to be, I guess.
He's doing the classic Predo thing where he answers Chris with an entirely different answer. An answer to a different question. He's answering, why did you come here? Not, why do you feel so comfortable coming here? So Jerry, he's exhibiting all the classic Predo predilections and behaviors. Not to mention the grooming in the chat log. He was a smooth groomer, that's for sure.
I guess a mentor or something like that.
A mentor? A mentor in what way?
Positive, I would hope.
Positive. So how were you going to mentor this 13-year-old girl?
Most of the things I would do would just be all within that I could possibly, get to. That I'll give anybody.
Whoa! What the fuck did he just say? He's getting all twisted up and confused now because he's getting hit with more questions about this excuse that he just snapped into existence. So he's having to think on the fly. But he had nothing, so he just kind of garbled something.
Most of the things I would do would just be all within.
One of the things I would do, all within.
That I could possibly, get to. That I'll give anybody.
In a positive way, in a way that I would give anybody. I think he's trying to say that he would be a mentor in the same way that he would be a mentor to anybody. Possibly. Don't bet on that.
be a big brother or an
Big brother.
aspect, yes.
So you were coming here to be
Yeah.
the big brother.
That just makes it worse, man. Big brothers don't want little sisters to pee on them, so he has the chat logs. Oh, Jerry, you're digging yourself a hole. And not a latrine hole like you would like. Sorry. Cheap shot.
I would like to try to be one,
You would.
if possible.
And what kind of things in your mind does a big brother do with his 13-year-old adopted sister?
Well,
We're approaching that time when Chris starts dropping lines from the chat. So Jerry's in for a world of hurt.
how about with homework?
How about with homework? That's handy.
It would be great if Chris just whipped out like some 7th grade homework, a homework sheet from math or something, and said, all right, go ahead, help her with this homework, and just put him on the spot. He would either just freeze entirely, or maybe he, excuse me, is good at math and would just like knock it out. We'll never know.
Talk about things that if possible. Think we get brotherly advice.
Brotherly advice. About things like what?
Anything in general,
Anything in general.
if possible.
If
Now,
possible.
the kind of brotherly advice you talk about in your chat here doesn't seem like the wholesome kind of homework type advice you're talking.
Oh, he realized the chat log is gonna enter the conversation. That's not good for him. So his eyes dart around again.
Doesn't seem like the wholesome
shit.
kind of
See, again, that's like an oh shit. He has a chat log. That's the face that was, in my opinion.
homework type advice you're talking to me about.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Oh man, he immediately knows what Chris is referring to Jerry's credit, and to those who would claim that he's slow. He knows what he's talking about. The peeing.
There's some pretty inappropriate stuff in here.
Yes.
But I don't think Chris knows, or Chris doesn't think that Jerry realizes what he's talking about, because he hammers it back in that there's some inappropriate stuff in here.
And the kind of mentoring you're talking about in your chat involves
Yeah.
her doing some sexual things to you.
I never said anything in that nature.
Ooh.
Well, her getting on top of you and urinating on you.
Ooh. Oh man, there's another one of those oh shit faces when he purses his lips together. As Chris says, you talk about her getting on top of you and urinating on you. Oh, that's good. It's better than if Chris said pissing on you, because then it would have been bleeped out. No, it's way better to hear Chris say urinating.
Her getting on top of you and urinating on you.
Yep.
How?
I got the chat right
Okay.
here, Jerry. I mean,
I got
right here, Jerry. I mean,
I love that. I got the chat, I got the chats, Jerry.
I got the chat right
Okay.
here, Jerry. I mean, I can read it back to you if you like.
No, you don't have to.
You talk about
You don't have to. He didn't say he had to. He just said he could.
whether or not she drinks. You talk about tickling her.
Yeah, that. But nothing.
You talk about seeing her cuter side. What's my cuter side if you pull your pants and panties down?
Ooh. Again, an oh shit face.
I said if
Excuse
I
me.
would see. I'm trying to dance around that.
You were trying
he's
to
a-
dance around.
He was trying to dance around it, so Chris doesn't give him any mercy. He's Chris is not through with him. Not yet. Oh, Jerry. Jerry's just searching the wall in front of him for answers, and there's nothing there. Nothing to help the guy. I just want to listen. There's some really great Chris lines in this one. Some Chris Hansen lines. You know, we focus on the Predo lines, but Chris, man, he's... Actually, people comment about it all the time. What am I talking about? How quick he is, you know, with his witticisms on the fly. But he's really, really on top of his game during Jerry's trials here, which is bad for Jerry. Again, a lot of bad stuff for Jerry.
I was trying to dance around that.
Yeah, well, you were trying to dance around it.
Zing!
How did that work out for you?
Skipped over it, I believe.
Looking right at the
I don't
camera.
want to get that far into that side of a chat.
You didn't want to get too far on that side of a chat.
Yeah.
You talk about what kind of clothes you'd like her to wear. Tank top. A micro mini skirt.
Oh, a micro mini skirt? Isn't that just a micro skirt? I thought it was a micro skirt, then a mini skirt. Not a micro mini skirt. Is that just maybe like a pair of the boy short style underwear? Like that? Is that what that kind of, like, a micro skirt is already really short, so I don't know how it could be any shorter and still be a skirt instead of just being like tight fitting clothing. Jerry, you're not thinking this through.
She asks about panties, and you say, you can't go without that?
Ooh. No, Jerry.
I mean, you basically ask her to urinate.
His face is just telling such a story. The way he's looking at him with trepidation, the way he looks down and looks back up really quickly as the hammer drops, talking about urination, and then he just looks back into the distance, and he just happens to be staring right into the camera at points. Look at that face right there. He's just, oh, man, if faces could talk, right? They can talk, but if facial expressions could talk, this one says a lot.
To urinate.
There's that quick look.
To urinate. Right?
Alright.
Alright.
Is that appropriate talk to have with a 13-year-old girl?
No, it's not.
Then why did you do it?
Wasn't thinking too clearly.
I was just horny, man. As Chris Weaver so eloquently put it. Just horny, man. I was just horny. Now, to Jerry's credit, once he's called out for it, he did try to dance his way around it, but once he's called out for it, he basically admits to it up front. So some predators, some predos will just argue and argue and argue in the face of overwhelming, obvious evidence, like the chat logs, but he's too smart for that. He knows he just should give in because he can't, what's there to say?
Do you do this sort of thing often?
No.
He just wants to move past this and go to the next thing. He just wants to get out of this embarrassing situation because you can tell he's mortified, embarrassed, like just looking all over the room, looking up at the ceiling. He's not having a good time. It doesn't seem like most of the guys that have dates with Chris Hansen do have a good time. They tend to have a bad time. Chris, you know, I don't think, what was dating sites that used to have people's grade beside them, or like Hot or Not. That was an old website back in the day. You would rate other people on their attractiveness, so they would get scored on it. If they had one for this, like the It's Always Sunny dating app, I'm talking all over the place, but there's an episode of It's Always Sunny where there's a dating app that they score other people on after they go on dates. If that was a real thing, Chris Hansen would have 0 stars. That was terrible. That was way too much talking for way too bad of a punchline. So I apologize, everybody. That was not worth it. Let's go back.
So I suppose this is the first time you've done anything like this.
Yes.
Of course.
But saying it's the first time really doesn't matter because you're here and you were willing to do it.
Chris just putting it so bluntly. That's exactly what I'm always thinking. What everybody's always thinking when they make that excuse. There goes my voice. You know, when they say it out of the blue, this is my first time. It doesn't matter. And why would it matter? Why would you bring it up? In this case, Chris does, but just to deliver, he just sets up the line. He sets up Jerry, and Jerry takes the bait.
So that really doesn't get you off the hook, does it?
No.
What do you do for a living, Jerry?
I'm a park attendant.
A park attendant. And presumably in that position you have contact with teenage kids, girls and boys.
All at the legal age. I guess 18.
So when you say park attendant, what exactly do you do?
And then they go around pick up trash and stuff like that.
In public parks?
Yeah.
In what city?
LA.
LA. And so you're...
Ooh, Jerry, I don't think adult-only public parks are a thing. So you're trying to dance around... You're trying to dance around it when you're just going to get skewered by Chris Hansen. Just don't put yourself through this misery, man. Just admit that, yeah, you're around children in your job, which is fucked up. So hopefully he lost that job. I'm sure he did, and can't get another one like it. Which, if he was working for the parks department of the city, I imagine that's a pretty good, cushy job. Or at least one that, you know, you're set. If you're happy doing it, you can just keep doing it and keep making that government cheese. So that might have been a big loss for Jerry. I don't know.
In the public parks and you're exposed to kids.
Pretty much.
Is this appropriate behavior for somebody who is out in the public and has contact with children, teenagers?
No, it's not.
So what should happen to you, Jerry?
No.
Well,
You dealt with under the legal extent of the law.
Did you
what?
bring anything with you today?
What did he say?
Of the law. Under the legal extent of the law.
Legal extent of the law? I couldn't make that out, but it doesn't matter.
Did you bring anything with you today?
Nope.
Anything for Chloe?
Nope.
You're sure?
Positive.
Well, there's a couple things you need to know.
He was coming to get something from Chloe. He was coming to get urine. So, it doesn't mean anything that he doesn't have condoms. He was coming to get pissed on.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. We're doing a story on adults who
Oh!
young teens on the internet. If there's anything else you'd like to
Ooh.
say, we'd like to hear it. If not, you're obviously free to go.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh, he's stunned. The unthinkable. First, the unthinkable happened when Chris Hansen stepped out. Now the unthinkable has happened and a bunch of fucking video cameras come out. Oh, man. Everything that they've been talking about has been recorded, is what he's surely thinking about. And that's why he's just stunned. And he sits here for a little bit, just kind of not really. It's strange. Let's check it out.
Feel free to look.
Feel free.
Could it be possible to ask if I can be anonymous or would I just be exposed?
All right. So first, Chris Hansen says, "So feel free to leave," to get him out, moving on his way. And Jerry says, "Is there any way to remain anonymous, or am I going to be exposed?" Shades of Corey Ahia asking, do I need to sign a waiver or something? No, fuckhead. You came to this house to do something illegal. Why would you think that there's a way to remain anonymous, or that Chris would have to get? I almost said that we would have to get a waiver. That Chris would have to get a waiver. Just silliness.
We have made no decisions as to who's going to be in the store yet. We just don't know.
Okay.
Jerry did not make it into the episode. His footage, much like Richard Brialt, was released years later. So another situation where the guy thinks he made it out without having to end up on national television, only to be released on YouTube. I think this video has 3.2 million views. It's something really, it's 3 million something. So I guess we could just check it right now, huh? Yep, 3.6 million views. So yeah, you're famous, Jerry. You're famous. Oh, shit. Sorry.
But you're free to go.
I understand.
Take the hint, Jerry. I love that part right there. As he walks out, you see Chris actually relax along with everybody else, except for the camera guy who's following him. It just, you can imagine exactly what happened after he left. They're all relaxed, probably congratulated each other. That was a good one, man. Nice job. Good job, Chris. Oh, yeah, he was a real fucking idiot. I got him. Chris probably just, pulls out a flask and takes a big swig. Yeah, that was a real fuckboy. No. That's Chris later in life. That's Hanson v. Predator. No, just kidding. I hope Chris doesn't find me and try to grill me about something. What are you here to pick up? Drugs? No, Chris, no. Just here to pick up my plants. You're here to pick up your shatter. You're shattered, buddy. Now, dab. Let's go. Oh, that's just great. And this is also a really good part coming up here. A little just cherry on top. He is not walking, he's not skipping in like he did on the way to the decoy. Stops to adjust his shoe and pull it on. It looks like this cop has a gun in his hand, which seems ridiculous if they are watching the footage from inside the house. But they might have been really creeped out by him and thought that he was like some kind of serial killer. Because a lot of people wonder that, if he was some sort of strange, psycho killer. So you can't really blame him, I guess, in the end. And this is just crazy. Jerry starts saying that he needs to be home. He can't be out late. Dude, you're getting arrested. Maybe he's trying to play up his autism. I don't know. Maybe he's got a method for trying to get out of trouble.
Okay. One arm. Is this going to be temporary or just temporary?
Is this just going to be temporary? And the cop says just temporary because the cuffing is just going to be temporary until they get you into jail.
Okay, because I just don't want to be out here too long, Yeah. Now you going to go home quickly? Want to go home quickly? Yeah.
No. He looks scared of those dogs. This cop must be cracking up on the inside because Jerry's saying, I don't want to be out too late. I don't want to be out here. Let's listen one more time.
Yeah. Now you going to go home
I want to go home quickly.
Is this going to be temporary or? Okay, because I just don't want to be out here too long, you know?
He doesn't want to be out here too long, you know?
Now you going to go home quickly?
I need to go home quickly.
Yeah.
Cop says, you got someplace to go?
No.
Well... He thought they stuck the dogs on him. Alright, well that's basically the end of Jerry Kosis' segment. I got one last treat for us, and that's a recent photo of Jerry, courtesy of I'm Too Honest, Sir, on the Temple of TCAP. This is Jerry trying to do a funny look out the window picture. Apparently he's extremely into trains, which fits in, you know, having something that he's obsessive about. But, yeah, that's my overarching theory of Jerry Kosis, that he's not slow. He might just be on the spectrum, and this is how he reacts to unexpected social situations, especially. Anyway, thank you again to Spherical Harmonics and also Lud14 on the Hanson v Predator subreddit for the subscriptions. I really appreciate it. And thank you to anybody else who's listened through to the end. Feel free to subscribe if you like. I'm going to keep doing Predos one every single day until I get a nice, good foundation to start branching out into some of the more esoteric, you know, the theory parts of TCAP, you know, bigger, beyond just the average Predo. There's some overarching themes I'd like to investigate, but got to get all the Predos down first, and that's a big task, so I'm going to stay busy. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you have a nice night. Catch you on the flip side.